Welcome to yet another awfully lit YouTuber unboxing in a hotel room, this time of the OnePlus 6T McLaren edition, and massive thanks to Ash from C4E Tech, who kinda made this entire video possible. So, as you can probably tell, this is a massive departure from previous OnePlus boxes. Out the window is the white and red theme they've had for years now, and in is black and orange, which is as striking as it is unusual. One of the first things you'll see is the device itself, and I gotta say, there's a fair bit to take in here, so we're gonna come straight back to this, but first of all let's see what else is in the box. There's a focus on carbon fiber with this device, so you get a carbon fiber style case, still plastic, but nonetheless pretty well built. Then we've got the charger, and this is something pretty special, a first for OnePlus. And speaking of firsts, this is probably the first orange dash charge cable you've seen, and I gotta say, it looks pretty great, although that could just be me dying for some variety. Of course, we also have the headphone jack adapter because the headphone jack is no more on the 6T, and this weird little trophy which is made of some sort of acrylic and contains the actual carbon fiber McLaren use in their cars. I'm always going on about how I feel OnePlus should change up their packaging a bit, and this phone feels like their answer to that. There is orange everywhere. The theme is very consistent throughout this experience. Okay, considering this is just a relabeled 6T, just a limited edition version of the standard phone, there is more new here than I expected. Even the lock screen has been built from scratch, and in fact, when you start the phone up for the first time, it invites you to go through an augmented reality experience. You flick through the pages of the book that came in the box, and view it on the smartphone itself, and it brings them to life. It's a really random, but at the same time, endearing touch. Also, as this is a limited edition phone, we can expect limited edition wallpapers, and there are a whole bunch of them pre-installed on the device, and I can't quite see the link to McLaren, but at the same time, they look good, and they're also power saving on this AMOLED display, so I'm not complaining. And they fit quite nicely with the new theme on the device. This black and orange that we've seen consistently throughout the packaging has carried forward through the software, which I think is quite impressive. The settings menu flicking to the left-hand side screen, even pulling down your notification bar, you see the same theme. What really impressed me though is how this consistency is carried forward into the external aspects of the phone too. This is still the OnePlus 6T from the outside, it's still got that glass back, it still doesn't have wireless charging, but it definitely looks better. It's kind of like a mirror black finish with a really subtle carbon fiber layer underneath. And as you follow the phone down, it leads into an orange highlight at the bottom. It doesn't scream for attention, but at the same time I quite appreciate that. I think it looks really good. I would have quite liked to see a bit of a gradient finish going on, but at the same time it is something different, so credit for that. Right, so I mentioned this phone comes with a special kind of charger. They call this Warp Charge, and for the first time ever on a OnePlus phone, this offers 30-watt charging. This is quite a big deal. This turns those claims of a day's power in half an hour to more like a day's power in just over 20 minutes. It's well above the industry average, but at the same time, if you were coming from a phone like the Mate 20 Pro, you would be a little disappointed because that phone has 40 watts. So the camera, and just generally most other aspects of the phone and the software, haven't really changed from the 6T, but there is one more quite significant hardware change which I think will get a lot of people excited. The McLaren edition of the 6T comes with 10GB of RAM and 256GB of storage as standard. So when you combine that with the Snapdragon 845, this is kind of finishing 2018 with a bit of a bang. It's not a next generation device like a lot of people were hoping for, and so if you're on anything like the OnePlus 6, you do not need to think about upgrading to this. But at the same time, if you're someone who would be introduced to OnePlus with this phone, it's a pretty good place to start. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I pulled yet another all-nighter to get this video out on time, and massive thanks to Ash from C4E Tech. I'll leave his channel in the description below. My name is Aaron, this is Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'll catch you in the next one.